Now today we are going to step into a little bit more power. This power that I have behind me has been doing pretty good to be able to power these machines. We've not encountered any problems with it, but in the future here, we are going to need a lot more power. So how am I going to manage that? Well, I think create today is going to be one start, and I think we are going to be switching to early game magmatic power. Now to make this work, I only need a few things. I really do, and it's going to be quite simple. So we have the ender tank here, and we are going to need ourselves a hose pulley from create. I believe the hose pulley is going to be one of the easier things to get our hands on and use. And this should be able to generate unlimited lava. Yes, so long as we have enough lava in one place, it should consider it a source of lava, thus allowing us to mine it forever. And the good part is, we don't have to do this in the nether. I have a spot underground that should allow me to do this, which will be kind of cool. Now, I'm going to need an axe because the new mechanic with create requires me to take logs, and we have to strike them or strip them. So we strip it just like that, and then we take some copper, and we right-click a piece of copper on there, and we get ourselves a casing of copper. And this works for all the different casings in create now. That is the way you do it, which is kind of interesting because it gives it another mechanic for which to automate. Now, to make this plate, probably best we just make an engineer's hammer, and we go with the engineer's hammer route as it is much cheaper to do it that way. There we go. And there's our copper plate, and there's our hose pulley. Perfect. So the hose pulley doesn't quite work on its own. We are still going to need some more things from create. Now, thankfully, we can just use the hand crank to get it into the position that it is going to be going in. So I'm going to go ahead and make myself a crank. And honestly, that's just about it. And this should provide unlimited lava. At least I hope so. Now, here's our ender tank, and this is what we're going to be using to transfer lava from one destination to another. Now, we need to get down into our mine and put that massive lava pool that's underneath us to use. So I'm slowly but surely making my way to the center of our lava pool. And if you remember, this is the area completely under our base. There's a lot of lava down here. I hope it's enough. I think you need like 10,000 source blocks in order to consider it infinite. And this is going to be pretty darn close. So I'm just kind of getting to the middle. I don't even know if I have to be in the middle. But right here is my hose pulley. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a little bit of a pathway around this so I can walk. But the direct bottom here definitely needs to be removed. Everything else is fine. This right here is where my tank is going to go. We put the tank there already. And this should be more than enough room. Plenty. I'm just trying to make a path so I'm not so nervous walking around this thing. Now, right here is where I'm going to put the hand crank. And I need to figure out what direction. Shift goes in the opposite direction, and it seems like shift is the direction that works. And I'm going to keep doing this until it stops. And it stopped right there. And we should see, hopefully, this filling up. Unless I need some other thing to, yeah, I'm not noticing. It says it's still empty. I wonder if we actually still need to pipe the fluid out of this. So it worked, and I just ended up getting an achievement for this. So I do have a pipe hook to it. And as you can see, it is filling with water, or filling with lava, not water. But to make this faster, we should be able to put a speed upgrade in there. And we're probably going to need to upgrade this over time and make it even faster. But yeah, I think we've tapped into some lava here for sure, because this thing is already filled. And now we can use this lava to power some magmatic dynamos. Now, I'm sure you're curious, why are we getting into power? Well, today I think I'm going to be upgrading our mining tools and allow us to mine a little bit better and a lot more efficiently. And to do that, well, it's going to cost us a bit of power. And so we are going to need a little bit more of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start tearing this down. This is, of course, our early power. Of course, down there we have our fluids. Like, all of this needs to go. I think I can probably set this and just mine it this way. All of these have got to just go. There's really no need for us to continue this low tier power. It was great while it lasted, and it definitely supplied us plenty of power for early game machines. But today, is upgrade day. And that means, well, we've got to have a nice area for this. And I've already made myself 4 magmatic dynamos to get this all powered. And I can go ahead and actually place this back just like this. I'm going to have to remove all of these cables just like that. Boop. And then go ahead and get these set in. And then I'm going to be able to get back here. And all we got to do is just pipe this and connect it to our intertank. So here's our intertank, our pipe, which is going to connect here. And somehow we need to get this to connect to this. Will it only connect to the top? I guess it only will connect to the top. And so we'll have that pull. And looky there, we're already generating lava. Now by default, this is only going to produce about 40 RF per tick in its default state. But as soon as we fill this with 3 auxiliary reaction chambers a piece, this is really going to start boosting some power. And then also once we get our integral components in, we should be looking pretty darn good. I also think I'm going to be moving these machines one back and then also routing the power underground so we don't have this ugly cable laying here. Now that I have some power, let's go ahead and make ourselves a Tinker's Workbench. This thing is definitely going to be worth it and is how I'm going to be able to charge all of our equipment that we're going to make from this mod. Believe it or not, yes, it's a charging station. It may not appear to be, but it definitely is and does work as one. Let's see, I probably should place it right up top here, but I am going to need some more power cables. Let's see, our energy pipes. There we go, it's easier to type in pipe. Let's see, I'm going to have to pop up here. Is there any way I can just, I can just step on this? Yeah, that actually works, kinda. A little bit. Place this on top. There we go. We'll never have to worry about it again, but it is going to be a great place for us to get some power. So all I gotta do is hook into it. And as you can see, it did connect up. Now, there's a couple different modes. We have the charge fill mode. We have the augment mode. And the augment mode is going to allow us to modify tools. Speaking of tools, because I want to get into mining and making mining a little bit easier for me, because I know I can use ours right now, right? But I eventually run out. And modification of this, it does cost a lot of mana, and at the point where we're at, mana and mining, it's really early game. So I think expanding ourself is going to be very helpful. Now I could go mining gadgets, but I think I'm going to wait for mining gadgets, because to be able to get into mining gadgets and really get the benefit from it, it is going to be quite expensive. So I'm going to wait until we get more resources to be able to do that. And before we do that, let's go ahead and make ourselves a flex bore. Yeah, a flex bore is honestly going to be the early game equivalent of a 3x3 drill. This thing is actually kind of awesome. So let's go ahead and get this all crafted up, just like so. As you can see, crafting in here is super easy. But on its own, it's not that great. It doesn't really do anything. I mean, it can mine blocks once we get some power. Speaking of power, we should probably also make a capacitor. So let's make a couple of these. Capacitor is how we're going to, keep things nice and charged. I accidentally made 2. But this is going to be also upgraded. Everything, by the way, gets upgraded with those, the modified, what are they called? The augments? Sorry, not augments, the integral components. All of them will be upgraded and should be able to work with those. Now, I also want to make a flexo magnet. I think this is going to be pretty nice, right? Flexo magnet is going to allow us to pick up all the drops. So we should be nice and clear. So there we go. This all requires power, right? And the way we can charge that is by just dropping it in here while it's in the charge mode. And you can see right there, it gets all charged up. Same with the magnets, and also same with our flux capacitor, which, believe it or not, should not teleport us from one place to another. Into a different timeline. That shouldn't happen. Now, don't forget to grab your integral components, by the way. I almost forgot to grab mine out of my extractors and fractioning still. Now, getting started with this, because we're going to be using these upgrades for these machines, or these tools, I'm going to want a radial upgrade. Now, radial upgrade is going to allow me, if I can get thermal, it's going to basically allow me to mine in a 3x3, which is going to be fantastic. So let's go ahead and get into the augment table. and augment this. Now you can also enchant this, by the way, with holding, and you definitely want to do that. That'll allow it to store more power over time. So just by default in this, we can go ahead. I think the capacitor doesn't get upgraded in this way. How does the capacitor get upgraded? It gets holding. So we can give this max holding and that'll increase that, because it doesn't look like, oh, actually, no, we do need to be in the augment mode. Well, there we go. If with the augment in, it goes from, let's see, let's go ahead and move this with the stored augment. It now will do 1,000,000 RF. Without it, it does 500,000. So with it, we pull this out, it now will store that much. Now, same goes for this. This is going to be able to mine and have a bit more power stored in it. Also, we put the radial in there and pull this out. You can see now we have 150,000 RF. But if we have the capacitor and we have it in charge mode, it's going to be able to keep this charged, as you can see, and we can keep this inside of our charm slot. So I can go ahead and turn this off for right now. Same goes for the magnet. We can definitely put an upgrade in it so long as it's in augment mode. And there we go. And get that all charged up. I'm gonna get these all charged up. And I think the single radial is fast enough. I think the single radial either does a 2x2 or it does a 3x3. We might have to do another radial in here. Let's go ahead and actually test that out real quick. And let's see. I mean, we could probably just mine. No, let's not mine here. Let's find somewhere to mine. Nothing like my test area to do some testing. And by default, it is a 1x1. And I think there's a mode to allow us to change this. So if you search for cycle mode, you'll be able to find the key. It's also under cough. But yeah, if I hit V now while holding this, single block, or I can mine a 3x3. As you can see, 3x3 is mining. Now, of course, it's not the fastest, right? This isn't crazy fast. We need to make the better integral components to get some speed on this. Now, to be able to make the highest tier 1, which is going to be the resonant integral components, this right here is going to need ender dust and diamond dust. Honestly, it's pretty simple to obtain these things. The ender dust, a little bit harder, as we do need some sort of grinding mechanic. Looks like an inscriber can definitely do it, which is kind of a weird way of getting this. But there is other ways that we could potentially get this stuff. We can make dust, which is, yeah, regular ender pearls. So there we go. So this is probably gonna be the best way to do it. So that way we don't have to do any crushing. And it looks like we can actually crush the diamond with this mechanic. Apparently this needs to be a higher tier though. But yeah, it's really not that bad. This is crazy easy to set up. Actually, let's just take some diamonds and we'll put them in the pulverizer and we'll get them nice and crushed up. We'll do 16 for now. It's probably gonna be plenty. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and get those nice and pulverized up. And we should have Enderium, right? Yeah, Enderium before we know it. Like, aluminum's super easy to get as well. And then hardened glass I can make just in a crafting recipe. So I went ahead and took this component out of my drill, only to upgrade it to this tier. And this is going to be pretty nice on its own. So to me, it feels a little bit faster now. Of course, when we're mining these things, it's going to change. But let's see about enchanting this. Now, it can receive efficiency upgrades and also fortune and silk touch. Now, in my opinion, I would prefer to have silk touch on this over everything else, just because it's the main overarching mining tool. We can also put another range upgrade on there, meaning it can mine in a 5x5 area. So yeah, this tool is pretty nice. Now, just by default, testing this out and seeing what it's going to get, it already tells me it's going to get holding, which is already a pretty crazy enchant in its own right. Holding, I believe 5. I think 4 is supposed to be its max. So that's like an over enchant already, I believe. We can put that on there for right now. This is just holding, but we can enchant this more. I'm going to go ahead and use these mining books, and we should be able to hopefully get something. Looks like teleportation is one of the things that's on here. Yeah, unfortunately, once we put the thing on this, we can't get like this book back. It'll just give us a regular book when we unenchant it. So hopefully we can get some efficiency rolling on one of these books. So I think this is going to be perfect. So right here I have silk touch, efficiency, and soulbound, and this of course is efficiency as well as unbreaking. Unfortunately, like none of these are really going to matter too much. Let's go ahead and put this. Let's get efficiency 5 and silk touch, which is the main thing I want. Silk touch efficiency 5. And this is actually the book right here. So I do have another silk touch book. But I think this is all we need. So we can take this and apply soul valve can go on here as well. I didn't actually see that originally. Flux bore, drill-o-matic. So this are going to be our drill-o-matic. We'll go ahead and get this on here. And that should be a pretty quick thing. And plus the holding alone means this thing can hold over 700,000 RF, which is just quite a lot. Now let's go see how fast this thing can mine now. I mean, by the way, if I didn't mention it, this can also have holding on it, and so can our magnet. So all of these can definitely receive holding on them. All right, so here's the ultimate test. Yeah, I would say that's a significant increase. It mines right through dirt, giving me no problem whatsoever. This is fantastic. Yep, ores don't even stop it. And this is the way things should be. I love this. So now, I definitely think it's time for a mining montage. So after spending a little bit of time in the mining dimension, I mean, I've gathered quite a bit of just random ore. The problem is I'm not gathering a lot of, like, thermal ore, and that's kind of what I'm after the most. So maybe I'll have to go mining in the regular overworld. Yeah, definitely coming back to the mines. This is the way to go for sure. Like, I'm going to be able to mine up all of this stuff. No problem. By the way, if you hold shift and then use your vein mine key, it'll just only mine in a single block. And so you don't have to constantly swap between single and that. You just hold shift to do a single block while you're in the 3x3 mode. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome overall. So yeah, this is a lot better. This is exactly what I'm looking for. More nickel, and I'm finding tons of it. So definitely here, didn't find a whole lot in the overworld. So maybe caving is just the better way to do it. Also, this tool is incredibly broken. It just breaks the spawner instantly. So yeah, as soon as I get close to the spawner, I'm able to just pop the spawner and we're good to go. And the crazy stuff that's been in here has just been amazing. So like, I just got a creeper spawn egg out of one of these, because I believe these come from Apotheosis. This is just really cool. Also, probably should make sure that this isn't trapped, since the last one... Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me! This is a mimic! Oh! This can drop an artifact! Let's see if I can kill it, though. It's maimed. And... it did drop an artifact. Which one, though? What is this? Increases the link of invulnerability after taking damage. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. But yeah, that just startled the crap out of me. Woo! Anyways, what is this? There's just so much cool stuff under here. Like, of course, I do have night vision on, so that's why you're able to see everything. And the creepers have Christmas hats on. Yeah, this is just too good. We're able to just break those spawners like they're nothing. But what is this? Why is there just a bundle of spruce planks? Unless it's some sort of broken terrain generation. Is there anything in you? Oh! It's access to the caves. Interesting. Now, I have a bunch of ore here, and of course I would love to place it all down, but I want to take a copper hammer, and maybe we can put some unbreaking on it and see if this actually is functional. So put some unbreaking on here, and I think we might be able to take things like gold, right? And we need to break this with fortune, so we can definitely place down a bunch of it and vein mine it all. I think using some sort of building wand would probably be better. Definitely should make a building wand. Let's see, we do have wands, right? Oh yeah, we can definitely make like a diamond building wand. So let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll use my fortune. Boop. And then we get quite a bit of it. It went all in here, so there's that. And I think we can use this to crush it down. And as you can see, it did use a bunch of our copper, but it did double it. So this is an easy way to just double without putting in here. However, it is manual. This might be able to be done inside of a crafting machine of some sort later on, if we wanted to just continue doubling that way, but definitely the way to do it right here. I'm going to go ahead and put it inside the smelter, make sure the inventory split is on and let this thing smelt away. And I'm going to do the same for just about everything here. So while I have things processing, let's go ahead and check our quarry and see how it's done. I actually think it is fully complete. Definitely fully complete. So it mined all the way down here, exposing everything in the wall, which is kind of awesome. That was quite a bit that this thing had to mine. And he got it all done, which is pretty sick. So let's see what our reward is here. So 1 diamond out of that, surprisingly, but we did get a lot of redstone. And for what this is, and the fact that it's all self-sustaining, is fantastic. And all we got to do is just pick up and move this thing. I think eventually it'd probably be a good idea to have like this going into an ender chest, filling up a drawer or an ender drawer. That way we could just use the ender drawer to fuel this and have this in a stationary location. Yeah, man, this is pretty awesome. We're like actually getting somewhere, I feel like. Now we just got to package this thing up and get it back in our base, and get it kind of unstocked here, because this is holding like a few thousand cobblestone. A lot of materials wrapped up inside of this thing. So I feel like I got a ton of stuff done today. I got, of course, unlimited lava at our disposal at this point. This is, honestly, that's an insane feat, is having unlimited lava, which is going to mean tons of power in the future. Not just through this method, but there's another method that actually requires some power. I would love to get into. It does cause some radiation stuff, but we'll get into it eventually. But yeah, I think we've done pretty good. I'm pretty excited. I got this all charged up. Did a huge mining session with this drill. And I'll tell you what, that didn't really use up a whole lot of power. I think I maybe went through like 2 million and gathered so much material. Went through so much material. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Of course, there are more to come and more awesome things to be had in the future. I think some builds are going to be happening very, very soon, as we definitely transition from RS, or refined storage, or as we switch from RF to refined storage. Yeah, that's going to be kind of an interesting change, but that will happen very, very soon. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Of course, it's time for me to thank the supporter of today's video. And that huge thanks, if I can not have caps on, that huge thanks is going to go to Suffer, I think, or Supper. Either way, thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, supporting in the best way possible, becoming a Discord premium member. And of course, guys, if you are interested in joining the Discord, all you gotta do is go to discord.gg/ChosenArchitect, or find that beautiful link down in the description below. Also, find me over at Twitch at twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect. And I would love to see you there. I stream 4 days a week, usually starting around 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to check that out. And guys, I will see you in the next one. Click that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, comment what you like down below, and I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.